Oh my God, here we are again. Ali, I once again am getting a sense of deja vu because literally almost a year ago, we were in this exact place talking about BB Can. And now here we are again for the next episode of A Conversation with Kely, episode 76, I believe. And of course, we're
something
talking
like
about
that.
Yes, something like that. I don't know. But we are talking about the premiere of BB Can 10. And I know you were obviously very excited for this. But before we do get into it, what were your thoughts about this premiere overall?
I actually really enjoyed the first two episodes. Like, obviously, what happens, what we're going to talk about later, it kind of sucks. But I mean, overall, it was a really strong premiere and first round. And I think it's going to be a really strong season.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this cast honestly is playing some of the hardest I've ever seen in the first week. I really don't feel like anyone's really kind of sitting back. Everyone's doing something, and that's really great to see within the first week.
Yeah.
I don't really see this cast having a dud in terms of casting. And I think that's definitely going to be really strong moving forward. I really am liking what I'm seeing of this cast. Also, I forgot to say, as always, I am here with my lovely and beautiful co-host, Ali. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm good. I just worked for 10 hours, so I'm a little tired, but
that's
I'm okay.
fun.
But I'm good.
I worked for like 4.5 hours, and I was tired because we were busy as fuck. But anyway, I digress. We're not here to talk about my work. What we are here to talk about is what?
That's good, though.
I mean, sure. What we are here to talk about, though, is the premiere of BB Can 10. I will be honest with you guys. The first episode, we don't have much to talk about because most of this episode were just intros, and we've already talked about said intros. The one thing I will say right off the bat, Ali, and I think you'll agree with me, is that I'm very happy that this time around we had a natural first round. It wasn't like last season where they tried to do this twist of sorts where it almost felt more like Survivor than Big Brother. There wasn't an HOH.
Yeah, that was really random.
Yeah, I don't really think that works. So I'm glad that they didn't try to replicate that in any way. It shows that once again, BB Can listens to fans and things like that, really tries to take criticisms at heart and does what they can to fix them. And obviously having a 2-night premiere, you knew someone was going to get evicted, but I much prefer the way they did this to what they did last season. The only thing that is frustrating is that we didn't have feeds. So a lot of what goes on in this first week, we don't know a lot of the context. We still probably don't know a lot of the context, and it kind of sucks because we'd have more to talk about if we did, but unfortunately, because they didn't put the feeds up until after the second episode, we don't know a lot of what went down this week.
Yeah, I do wish they would do night one feeds, but I mean, it is what it is.
We've seen how, especially Big Brother 23 benefited so much from that because we got to see the whole evolution of the cookout and all these other side alliances, and that really made for a more fulfilling game. And I just feel having that first week, not having it is just, it kind of feels like an incomplete game because that first week is so crucial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into this. We start off, and I really like the way they started this off. We kind of get this montage of all the best moments from BB Can because obviously this is their 10th season, which 10 is a pretty iconic name when it comes to, it's a pretty iconic number when it comes to Big Brother because, well, Big Brother 10, I don't know if this is going to be on that level, but we will have to see. Arisa then introduces us to all the house guests, and we see them all move in. They then each go around the room and introduce themselves. And when Gino speaks, immediately we see JL, Stephanie, and Jay all seem to be into him. So any of them... I
just realized all Gino said was his name and his age.
Yeah, no, literally that's... No. He didn't even do that. He literally just said, "Hi, I'm Gino." Yeah, that's it. That's literally all he did.
No, I think he said, "Hi, I'm Gino. I'm 28." Yeah, or something.
Yeah, something like that. And they all just swooned over it. And I was like, I just found that to be really funny. I'm not shocked. I will say I am not shocked that Jacey-Lynne is really seeming to like Gino because, the second that we saw her intro, I kind of got the sense that like that was going to be her. And I'm just hoping that she's not one of those players that just wants a showmance. Like I want to see her play the game. I hope that's who she ends up being. But I'm just a little worried, especially from what we've heard after this week, that that's kind of all she's here for. But I hope that's not the case. I hope I'm wrong.
I hope not.
Yeah, because I want to like her for sure. So basically, Arisa then tells all of them that there are gifts in the bedroom. They're there to check them out. The gifts are pretty much a distraction for the secret phone in the house, which everyone notices. I really like this twist. I like the idea of this phone. It kind of reminded me of, if you remember in Big Brother 17, the last laugh that they did, with during the second takeover week, I believe Davon ended up getting it. It didn't really amount to much of anything, but it kind of reminded me of that. And I wish they do more things like this, because it's like, it's not really rigged in any way. It's literally just the first person that picks it up ends up receiving some kind of advantage. And I like that a lot, actually. So basically Jay runs to answer it, and as a result is told that they have won safety. It also means they will not be competing in tonight's HOH, and Jay tells all of them about their safety and how they are barred from playing. Obviously they kind of have to, because they're safe. And that's really like the first thing that happens in this premiere. The rest of the episode is pretty much just the HOH comp, which Allie's gonna talk about.
Yeah. The first HOH competition of the season goes down. It's a comp that involves either one of 3 competitions. They will either have to do a puzzle, answer trivia questions, or test their accuracy in a game of skill. The winner will move on.
This reminded me of like, what were we gonna say? I'm sorry.
The winner will move on to the prize round, where they will figure out what's behind each door. Now go ahead.
This reminded me of like an org. Like this was a very like org-based type challenge where it's like there's like 3 different phases.
Kind of, yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that, but it also reminded me like just BB Can's so much better when it comes to comps. Like they just put so much more thought into things, and like I really like the way this comp was done. I think this was a really good like first comp.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one, because like this BB Can puts way more effort into things.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially production wise.
Yeah. The first door is the HOH, but the other 2 will be found out later. For the puzzle round, Gino, Hermon, Jacey-Lynne, Summer, and Tynesha are chosen for this round. And for this first round, Hermon ends up completing the puzzle.
Kind of beasted through it. Like there was really no one in his way there.
I know. Stephanie, Kevin, Melina, Moose, and Marty are then selected to compete in the trivia portion of the competition. This round ends up being a pretty easy win for Moose.
Yeah, I mean, again, no real competition with Moose. He was really the only one that got even remotely close to that.
The last 5 house guests are chosen to do the skill game. It is a beanbag toss, and Josh ends up winning this competition.
Someone got, I think Haleena got really close. I don't remember, but somebody ended up getting, somebody ended up getting really close. I don't remember who though, because there were so many of them. There were like 5 of them, and I couldn't remember who it was. But I'm gonna say it was Haleena that got really close to winning this. But Josh ended up winning. Who I will say, Josh is kind of bland so far. Not huge in him.
I mean, I don't dislike him at all. Like he's just kind of like not really doing much at all.
Yeah, I'm not anyone I dislike. He's just like not really doing it for me so far.
Yeah. Josh, Hermon, and Moose all then get to pick a door.
A lot of doors going on.
Josh stands behind the first door, which grants him safety for the week. Moose also receives safety, while Hermon becomes the season's first HOH.
Which I like that we got the HOH comp in this first episode. I was worried that they were going to like cut it off at the end where it's like, what door are you going to choose? Find out next episode. But they didn't do that. So I'm glad that we at least got an HOH win here. I will say I like the theme of this season where it's like there's like 2 themes going on. We're honoring comps from the previous seasons, but they also have this like game show type theme. I like it a lot. I think it's like really creative and fun. And they're really like playing into it very well. So I enjoy the theme of this season. What do you think of like the game show type theme?
I mean, I actually really enjoy it. Like this season's just really great so far. And I just think it gives like a unique and fun touch.
Yeah, for sure. So that's literally everything to talk about on Wednesday. Like I said, not really much of relevance to talk about. Most of this we're going to talk about Thursday, so we're going to just get into that.
All right. Hermon is excited to be HOH, but didn't really want to be the first one, especially when he doesn't seem to have a set target.
Right. And I was worried when he said that. I'm like, oh no, is this going to be another like train wreck of an HOH? But I honestly think he played it very well here. Like I think this was a really good first HOH. Like he pretty much did what you should do in your first HOH. Like not try to ruffle any feathers, listen to what like other people are suggesting, but also like try to forge bonds. I think overall he did a pretty good job here.
Oh yeah, he definitely was very smooth with this HOH.
Yeah, I think so too.
Hermon is excited to be HOH.
You just read that.
Sorry. Moose is ecstatic to be safe for the week and plans to cause as much chaos as possible with it. Okay, he's very entertaining so far.
Oh, yeah. Moose is playing very differently from how I kind of expected him to, and I'm kind of here for it. Like, he seems like the guy that's, like, going to create, like, a lot of chaos, and no one's going to be able to get out because of it, because he's just going to be, like, 10 steps ahead of everyone. I don't necessarily know if that's going to make for the best gameplay, but I think he's going to be really fun to watch, and I'm excited.
Yeah, so far it seems like he's been, like, really trying to, like, get his ear and, like, try to get both HOHs to do what he wanted.
Yeah, he's also really killing it with the confessionals. The one face he gives, especially during his like little we'll talk about like the little disagreement with like Jess. Fucking hysterical. I loved it.
Oh my gosh, yes. They all walk into the house and see a wheel full of names.
Which meant
Jess
like nothing.
Jess is talking about cooking, and after Moose saying he doesn't love it, they seem to get very defensive, and Moose feels they are a lot to handle with the way they came across.
This was such a weird conversation. Like they're literally Jess is literally just talking about their love of cooking. Like that's literally it. Moose chimes in where he simply says, I just don't really like home cooking a lot. And Jess gets like so fucking angry about it. Like I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like it's literally just cooking.
Like, I do like Jess. I just think they.
Oh, I love Jess. Like generally, I love Jess just because of just how fun of a personality they are to watch. But my God, they are playing horribly so far.
Oh yeah, like I really love them, and they're great to watch and everything. But yeah, they're definitely someone who likes to cause a lot of drama.
They're such a loose cannon. Like it just feels like anything you say to them, they're just gonna like explode. And like a player like that, like you have to get rid of early. Like I don't see a scenario where Jess doesn't leave like early in this game. Like I just don't see it happening. Like yes, they have a few people that are writing it out for them, but I feel like honestly, the people that want them out very much outweighs that.
Yeah, really the main person that would like keep them safe is like Haleena.
But at the same time, Haleena is also good with everyone. So, like, does that even count? Like,
Haleena is doing so well so far. Like, I was reading that she was doing a lot of gaming today and just like working her social game and stuff. So she's definitely going to be like a silent killer.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I really like Jess as a character, but there's no way they're getting far in this game just because, like, they're literally flying off the handle just about cooking and liking home cooking. How are they going to be when it's like something that's like game related? Like this was a really bad, just a really bad look for them overall. Really bad first impression.
Yeah, that was not good.
Oh, speaking of Haleena, I did want to talk about how I love the moment in the first episode where they're all like toasting. She just casually breaks the glass, like such a funny moment. But I feel like
she's so funny and like clumsy. It's adorable.
It's the kind of moment that like really latches you onto her character because it's just so human. It's like she just laughs about it, and I just stuff like that. Like that's the reason why I think Haleena is probably gonna be like the favorite of the season. Like I feel like we're gonna come out of BB Can 10 and everyone talks about how like Haleena was like the star and things like that. Like I'm already getting that vibe from her. So yeah, I mean, just in general, she's really killing it and just so fun to watch so far.
Yeah.
So
and the next person, your part.
Yeah. So Hermon decides to talk to Josh and Moose, and they think that he should target other people who aren't really talking to others that much. And they feel that Haleena, Kevin, Jess, and Melina would all be good options. I like the fact that he tried to listen to Josh and Moose here. I think that it's pretty clear that the three of them are probably going to end up working together for the majority of this game. They have some kind of side deal that we're not sure. But again, this is something where it's like we really would benefit from those like night one feeds, because then we could see like, are these three as close as we think they are? Or is it literally just, it seems that way because Hermon went to them? Like, I'm not really sure. But obviously, like, the two of them are safe, so it made sense to gravitate towards them and really kind of like, you know, get there, kind of like let them have the final say pretty much, which I thought he did a good job with that. But then we get this conversation with Melina, and my God, was this awkward. I mean, look, we knew going into this season that one of two things was going to happen with Melina. I said this on the cast assessment. Either she was going to do really well because she would just not really feel bad sending people out. And, you know, while everyone else was like maybe slightly a bit more emotional, that would benefit her because she could just kind of get over it and move on to the next votes. Or she was going to have a really hard time making connections, and because of that would go really early. Unfortunately, the latter happens, and I'm not shocked, to be honest with you. I've seen a lot of people say, Allie, that like, oh, Melina was robbed. Melina could have gone farther. Melina was not robbed. Like, Melina, let's be honest here. Like,
she was really disappointing because she just didn't really give a shit.
That's the thing. Like, I can't in good faith say that Melina was robbed, because I don't really think that she put up much of a fight. Like, she really did not do much to save herself here at all. And like, on one hand, you can't really blame her because of course she has a hard time like connecting with people. I understand that. But like going into, but my thing is like, if she had such a hard time, why did she sign up for this game? Like, why did she apply to this game?
This was literally my worry with her.
Yeah. It just really feels like she was not ready and not really prepared for like what this was going to be. And I think this conversation really does show it, because all Hermon is trying to do is like get information out of her. He just wants to see like, who are you good with? What do you want to do? And she just stays quiet for the whole time. And basically, you know, he tells her he's open to do whatever for this round. And she just does not budge. She just kind of sits there, and just a really bad conversation overall when it comes to Hermon. I feel like even, you know, just with it just being the first week, you know, most of the time, the people that you're close with the first week, you're not necessarily going to be close with for the majority of the game. Yeah, there are those people you latch onto immediately, but it's only like day 1 or 2 of the game. She's not really sacrificing much and just telling him like, yeah, this is who I'd probably go for. I haven't talked much to this person. Like, you're just offering him suggestions. Hermon was and this is why I think Hermon like did a good job with this HOH, is that he was literally just willing to listen to her. Like, he just wanted her to answer some questions, and she answered 0 of them. So it was not a shock that, you know, this does not go over very well at all. We do get this slightly humorous montage where he's talking to each one of the house guests to see where their heads are at. I love that he was like talking about sales pitches, and like he was talking about how like this wasn't going well. Like, Hermon, I think, is going to be a fun character. Like, I'm liking him in the diary room so far.
Yeah, I like him too. He's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so it seems that he likes Summer and Haleena, but the conversations with Tynesha, Kevin, and especially Jess, who, my God, I mean, it just already wasn't hurting their game. What they do here is really bad. Basically tells Hermon that he needs to like tone things down, and like he needs to not be so over the top. It really does not go well with him at all. And I really thought at this point, like, Jess is probably going to be first boot. Like, I thought that's what was going to happen, just because
she was like really, they were like really aggressive and everything.
Yeah. I just don't understand.
I like them, but like, ugh.
I like them because I like how chaotic they are. I don't like them.
It's like first round.
Yeah, I don't like how they're playing the game at all. Like, this is not a good way to play Big Brother. And I honestly think, like, being as big of a fan as they are, they should know what to do. This is not what you should do. And I just don't really understand any of what they're trying to do here, because again, Hermon was just asking them questions and they didn't even try to like answer them here. So obviously when Hermon makes his nominations, he does nominate the two people that he feels the least good with, which are Melina and Jess. His reasoning being about how little of a connection that he's made with both of them, but he also really clocks Jess as a gamer here. And
he does.
I mean, he's not wrong. Jess is a big average fan of the show, as we know. But Jess is very annoyed with his speech and hopes to win the veto and make an enemy out of him. I don't really like that they immediately saw him as like an enemy. Like I wish they would have just admitted that like they did not do a good job and they could have maybe tried to work things out with Hermon. So again, this is why I just don't think they're playing a good game at all. Like they're putting unnecessary targets on their backs. They're really not trying to like forge any bonds with anyone. It's not looking good for Jess at all. Like I don't see
very messy. They're just being really messy. Like, and for what?
Yeah, no, it's all really unnecessary. Fun
like
to
right
watch.
Now,
yes.
Like right now, the only connection they really made was with like Haleena.
Yeah, definitely. So Melina then talks about how she doesn't really see herself making any real friends in the house and recognizes this is why she's in this position. Again, on one hand, I feel bad for her, but on the other hand, I'm just kind of like, why are you here? Like, why are you here if you weren't able to, have that sort of social adaptability? Like, I feel like I don't know if like she didn't know what she was going into, but it very much seemed that way. Like she just wasn't fully prepared for this. And it's unfortunate to see, but I can't say she was robbed because she really doesn't try to fix her positioning at all here.
Yeah. Like she just didn't even try, which was really sad.
Yeah.
And then she talks to Kevin about how much he doesn't seem to enjoy a lot of people's company, and he agrees that he doesn't like being in a large group with people, but admits in his confessional he's playing this up because he feels he has to. I mean, I will say, if both of them survive, like, this could have been a cool, like, interesting duo.
Yeah, here's the thing about Kevin is that like in his intro, I was like kind of here for him because he seemed like he was like going to play the game hard and things like that. No, I'm very much out on Kevin. I do not really like him very much at all. And my biggest issue with him, it's not so much like personality wise, like I think he could be fun. He's just really forceful with what he's trying to do. He wants to be that villain so bad, but it just comes across.
Like, I don't hate him, but he's definitely my least favorite. But yeah, he's just really trying too hard.
It's just so phony to me. Like every time he's in the diary room and he's like, oh, I'm playing this up. It's like, stop, like just be yourself. Like, I don't feel like I'm seeing like the real Kevin. I feel like he's playing this, like he's trying to play a character and it's just not working at all. It very much reminds me of like scripted diary rooms and like USBB where you could tell that it's not actually like what they want to say. It's what they've been like coerced into saying. The difference is with Kevin, like that's exactly who he is. That's what he's doing. Like he's trying to be this like villain persona. And I don't think it's going to work for him at all. Like I think gameplay wise, it's not a bad strategy, but I am not a fan of any of his confessionals. He's really annoying me. Unfortunately, I'm really regretting drafting Kevin. I'll be honest with you.
Oh no. Well,
so
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and as far as like things go with Melina, I mean, I don't even know if that bond would have been like a thing because it seemed like he was playing her from the start.
Yeah,
like it wasn't
true.
Legit.
Yeah, that's true. He could have been playing.
And she gets totally snowed by him this round. Like literally just in the first round, completely snowed. Like I don't really think this would have been that tight of a bond.
No, that's true.
So,
Jess talks to Hermon and asks for him to clarify what he was saying to them. He says that he got really gamey answers from them. And though maybe it may not have been their intent, he felt like when he asked them a direct question, they didn't give a direct response and saw it as calculated, and they don't feel he's reaching that much and feels they are very much the target this week.
I will say I like that they admitted that they were wrong with what they said and that like, he has a reason to like come after them. But again, I think this was a really bad conversation because I get what Jess was trying to do. Like I get that what they were trying to do was get some clarification. But the way that they came across, it just, again, was just like way too overly, just way too assertive in the way that they were doing things.
Like, I am glad they at least like took accountability, but like they were very assertive and aggressive.
It's really just the conduct. Like, I think that's the best way to sum it up. It's just the conduct. Like, I think that they're on the right track with things, especially with this conversation with Hermon, but the manner in which they're doing it is not going to help them. And it's already like painting a really bad picture for them in the game. And I don't see them getting far at all, because it seems like every conversation they're fumbling. And this is just one of like a bunch of really bad moments for them.
Yeah.
So again, I want to like them. Like I do like
Same.
like them, but I don't like
I
them
do
as a
like
player.
them too.
I like Jess as a character. I don't like them as a player.
Oh, same.
Which is actually reverse of Kevin. I like Kevin as a player. I don't like Kevin as a character.
Yeah, that's true. Same.
So
the veto comp happens, and Jay, Gino, and Haleena are chosen in addition to Jess and Melina. And so
yeah,
obviously
this was
so obviously there's no HOH again.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they never have the HOH play in the veto and BB can.
I know.
From what I've heard.
Yeah. The comp is yet another puzzle competition that also involves popping a bunch of balloons. Jess feels they have an advantage since they have seen the comp before in season 1.
Now, I want to ask you, since you've watched BB Cam before, did they do anything different with this comp this time around, or was it like exactly the same as it was?
I actually don't really remember that season 1, because like I haven't watched all of season 1. I watched like the beginning and the end. I have to go back and watch like the middle. But every other season, yes, I've seen like the full way.
Damn, you didn't see Topaz voting correctly?
Yes, I did.
Iconic.
Yeah, I saw the end, yeah. And then like the beginning. I just didn't get to I don't know why I haven't seen like the middle episodes.
Interesting. It's like me with BB22.
I think it's because like I didn't really start watching it on TV until season 2.
Right.
Or something. This assumption proves to be right, as Jess does win the veto, with Melina coming pretty close.
This was a really surprising win. Like, I was not expecting, especially the way the edit was done here. It was really just the editing. Like, the editing was really hyping up this idea that, like, Jess was probably going to be first boot. So I did not see them clenching this win at all until they said, yeah, I've seen this challenge before. Like, I know what I'm getting myself into. I think this is where they're going to thrive the most, is that they have this, like, knowledge about BB Can. So if they keep reusing comms from other seasons and Jess keeps getting picked for them, I think that's probably going to be like their strong suit in the game. I do think they're going to be one of those players that's going to have to, unfortunately, rely on competitions, which, like, that's not a good game if you're doing that. If you have to rely on competitions, like, you're not playing a good game. But it was really cool to see Jess actually pull this off, because I don't feel like we see this a lot in Big Brother, where it's like usually the first round's pretty straightforward in terms of a target, and that person ends up going. This time around, the target ended up winning the veto, which was very surprising.
Which is good for them.
Yeah, definitely. For now.
With Jess winning, everyone seems at a loss with what to do.
Yeah.
Hermon says his least blowback would be Melina, but seems unsure with what to really do. At the veto ceremony, Jess obviously uses the veto on themselves, and then Hermon then chooses Kevin as the renom, meaning here Melina will be the first evicted from the season.
Which
I'm
we
just
really
gonna say, also another edit, there was a lot of Kevin, so I thought he was going to be first boot too.
I did too, but also, like, we didn't really get much explanation as to why Hermon actually ended up targeting Kevin, because, like, he briefly brought him up, but Kevin was one of, like, 3 people that Hermon brought up. So, like, again, I think this is where we could have benefited from either seeing feeds or maybe even having a longer episode. Like, if they would have done, like, a 2-hour episode, I think we could have gotten a little bit more clarification when it came to why Kevin really went on the block, because we really don't know.
That's true, yeah.
It's just kind of like, oh, I have 3 options. Let me spin a wheel.
He was just in like the episode a lot, so with the edit, I thought he could have been first boot.
I don't know. I guess Hermon spin a wheel and landed on Kevin, and that's who he targeted. So yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
The wheel. What is this sensation?
Yeah, I guess.
Hermon wants Melina to go home since he feels Kevin would be a good pawn overall. And then Kevin plans to adapt and not let this get to him and wants to campaign hard to stay.
This is what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't stand this when he's like, I'm going to adapt hard. I'm going to fight for my life to stay in this house. Like, bro, chill. It's literally week 1. Like,
I mean, good on him for playing, but like, dude, don't be forceful.
It was just, again, it just came across as really forced to me. Like, I just want to see like the real Kevin. I don't feel like I'm seeing who he actually is. I feel like I'm watching a character, and it's really hard to watch so far.
The real Kevin Falk.
I would not be much better. I don't think I'd be very well at confessionals. I don't know.
But you're very real, and I'm hugging
maybe you guys feel differently. Would I be good at confessionals? Comment down below.
I love hugging you.
Well, you can't hug me in the diary room, so we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue here. So Melina and Kevin then talk about how much it sucks to be nominated, and Melina then does probably one of the worst things that you can do if you're nominated next to someone, which is literally give him a bunch of game intel saying that she feels Hermon and Moose are tight and that Kyle, Gino, Stephanie, and JL are probably in some kind of an alliance. I don't know where she got this information from, because there's certainly nothing in the episode that indicated that that's a thing, but we also didn't see any of these people in the episode.
She told him that info that he could use against her, so she really fucked herself.
Yeah, basically she says they're all going to vote together, and Kevin, again, being this like very sneaky player that he is, which again, I like the way he's playing. I do like the way he's playing. I do want to say that. Like, he's playing a really good game where it's like people are underestimating him and he's doing a lot more than people are really noticing. And I think that's working for him so far. But again, I don't know what Melina was thinking in doing this. Like, this is literally the worst thing you can do when you're a nom, is to like give information to someone else who's on the block next to you. It doesn't matter who they are at that point. Like, they're fighting for their lives to stay. They need like anything they can get to like try to, have a fighting chance in the house. And so obviously Kevin's gonna wrap this out.
I love Melina, but she's very disappointing.
Yeah, definitely. She did not impress me at all here. So he literally spills to Hermon exactly what Melina said, and he campaigns to a bunch of people. I thought he was kind of overdoing it here with some of the things, like when he's like straight up crying to like Tynesha and things like that. Like, you don't need to do that. Like that was a little ridiculous, I think. So Tynesha then talks to Melina and says that her chances aren't looking great because Kevin isn't much of a threat, because he doesn't seem to know very much that's going on, although she feels he's playing dumb, but feels Melina is being straight up. I thought Tynesha was potentially going to be the person to save her, but we'll talk about.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Yeah, it seemed like they were kind of propping that up here, but of course we'll talk about what actually happened. So we do get to the first eviction of the season, and in addition to Melina just being very disappointing, I hated her campaign speech, like all around. I did not like her. It was
terrible.
Yeah, I did not like her speech to stay. Basically, she's saying like, "Oh, I don't agree with the decision being made, but I've enjoyed the game so far." Like, don't say that, because then people know you're a target, and that'll give them ammunition to vote you out. So like, you have to try to. When you're giving a pitch in the house, like that's your pitch to stay. Like, you're trying to give people reasons as to why they should keep.
Yeah, you're literally trying to stay, not go home.
Yeah, Melina just kind of gave up. I feel like she didn't really try to save herself.
I don't think she wanted to be there, but why did she sign up?
I don't think she did either. I think she didn't know what she was getting herself into, and she just kind of like, I'll go, I guess. So whatever. I did really like Kevin's speech, though. He talks about how he says he's going to ride as hard as he can with whoever keeps him. I like that a lot, actually. So we get to the eviction, and I do want to point this out. It does seem like from the eviction votes that it's clear, and we do have confirmation on this now, that Tynesha, Kyle, and Josh have some kind of alliance, since they all are doing similar hand gestures with the votes.
Was it Josh or Gino? I think it was Josh or Gino.
Yeah, I don't remember which one it was. I could have mixed that up.
I'm pretty sure it was Gino, but I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It might have been the three of them, but they all have some kind of an alliance. I forgot what the alliance. It's like the 6 something.
I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, I would not have expected those three to work together, but I'm very much here for it, and I hope we're able to get a
maybe they're like really close, or they just have like a side deal, like a safety deal.
Yeah, I don't know. I will say it was very jarring because we didn't see anything about it on the episode. So just kind of seeing that's like, oh, I guess they're in some kind of an alliance. But yeah. I do like the finger guns. I thought that was cool.
I love that.
So yeah, the one thing I do want to talk about this vote is that it was not unanimous, which I was very happy about. Jay and Jess both vote to keep Melina.
I heard Jay wanted to they didn't want the first boot to go out unanimously. And then Jess, I'm not sure.
I feel like Jess did it just to stick it to them. Like Jess was just like, fuck everyone. I'm just gonna go against majority. Like I see Jess being one of those people.
In a way, I am kind of like, or a little bit shocked that Tynesha didn't vote to save her either.
Yeah, I thought Tynesha was.
But yeah, it's okay.
The one thing I will say is that
I mean, I'm glad it wasn't unanimous, but I mean, it makes sense because it is first week.
Yeah, I was also really surprised that Arisa didn't say the vote counts. Like, is that the first time that's happened? Like, she's like, 13 people have voted, and the majority goes to. I'm like, where's the vote counts?
I don't know if it was 10-2 or 11-2.
It was 10-2. It was 10-2 because there were 13 people that voted. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, it would be 11. You know, you're right. It would be 11-2 then because 10. Yeah, 11, 12, 13. Okay, yeah, you're right.
There's HLH and then the two on the block.
Right.
So then,
yeah, but Melina is the first person evicted. Honestly, I wasn't shocked. Like, it sucks that once again we had another POC going first boot. Like, that always sucks 2 seasons in a row. But I just don't really feel like she did much to save herself, and I don't really feel like she wanted to play. And I mean,
sadly, she just gave up, which is really sad and heartbreaking.
Yeah, she really did. And so basically, like in her interview with Arisa, which was very short, by the way, it was a very quick interview. She asked how hard it was to make like genuine connections in the house, and she admits that she isn't a people pleaser and that she should have done a much better job of that. I like the fact that she has this like sort of game awareness as to what she should have done. Yeah. But I will say, in her interview, like after the season, I'm kind of glad she's gone based on who she would have put up. Because I know she said Summer, and who is the other one?
Summer and shoot, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember the other one.
I just know she was targeting Summer, and I don't like that. So
I kind of think it was Summer and Jay, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it might have been Jay and Summer.
Summer was for sure,
yeah. She said she said she would have done that, which like I don't really understand like why specifically Summer, because she said, oh, I would have wanted to go against the majority, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means, but
she just isn't she's a very disappointing player.
She didn't have good game awareness at all, it seems, but yeah, Melina's the first person to go. Sucks to see because I do think this is a really strong cast. I think she had some potential, but again, I think the issues of her just kind of not being able to connect with people, I think it really fucked her, and I don't think she was able to recover, unfortunately.
Sadly.
Yeah. So that happens, and we then get this interesting twist that I actually like quite a bit. Basically, throughout the season, whoever survives the eviction, there's going to be weeks when the house guests will have an opportunity to open a mystery door. And I do want to zero in on something that I heard about on Twitter. This door, it has like a clock on it, and that clock is counting down constantly. Do you think this is like leading up to something?
Like some kind of twist or?
Yeah, because the door was at apparently like 14 and now it's at like 13. So I've heard some people say it could potentially be a triple because they might
it could be like a double or a triple.
Well, because they might allude to like BB Can 3 where there was a triple. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're gonna do.
I will say I do like this twist though so far.
Yeah, so for this one, basically, Yeah, I like it because it doesn't really interfere too much with the game. It's really just like it's kind of risky. And there isn't really a lot to it, but there kind of is, because this one basically Kevin has a chance to go through one of the doors, which has 500 behind it. Another has 25K and the other 500K. And he chooses the door and he only ends up getting $500, which I thought was pretty funny.
I will say, honestly, maybe just getting 500 is good for now, because it kind of like, so he's not really targeted for being like, hey, let's get him out because he already has a lot of money.
Also, he's not going to get too cocky because it's like, oh, I got all this money. Like I've seen a lot of times like people get like a shit ton of cash and they just like kind of check out because they're like, oh, I don't really need it anymore.
So like, yeah, strategically, I think this was the best one for him.
Yeah. Now that being said, I don't think when the door comes back, I don't think it's going to be money. I think it's going to be something else that happens, but we'll have to see.
It could be like a disadvantage.
Yeah, like a punishment of sorts.
A punishment or a power or a different kind of power. I don't know.
Yeah, or immediately they have to name have-nots or something like that. That would be crazy. Or like they're a have-not for the week, or they have to go on slop or something. Like that'd be insane.
That'd be crazy.
You must choose a Wendy's date right away.
I will say, I just saw something on Twitter. It was just a tweet that like Haleena, Stephanie, and JC are talking, and so far it looks like Halena's literally aligned with like every girl.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure we'll get more confirmation on that. Hopefully,
I mean, we stand because we love Haleena, like working her social game and working with girls.
Yeah, definitely. Haleena is definitely someone I'm a big fan of so far, and that's really it when it comes to.
Honestly, right now, Halena's definitely my favorite.
I think so too. I think Haleena is definitely the person that like I want to see get really far in this game. But other than that, that's really it for our thoughts on the first week. I think this was a really solid first week overall. It was accelerated. It was, but I think they were able to at least give us a base knowledge of what went down when it comes to Melina, why she ended up going. Hermon's HOH, which, like I said, I think was pretty good. He seems pretty tight with like Josh and Moose now, so he did a good job with that. And then Kevin, kind of just his ridiculousness, but also showing like how, cutthroat he's playing. I think it was overall a pretty solid first week. Anything else you want to say before we wrap this up, though?
Well, this was amazing. I always love covering this. I'm excited to cover next week's. And
Survivor.
And yeah, stay tuned for Survivor. And also, I'm excited to watch Beyond the Edge. If it's only like the 2 weeks, we're probably just gonna cover like a season review.
I think we're just gonna do that regardless.
Yeah, that probably would make sense, but we'll definitely see. Depends how many episodes there are.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for that. I'm excited for Survivor. I hope it's a great season. I'm totally excited for the rest of BB Can. I feel like so far it's going to be a good season because this is a really strong cast.
Yeah, definitely. I think overall this is going to be a really good season overall. But that's really it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Honestly, stay tuned for everything. Maybe other things here and there too, or postseason.
Yes, we'll definitely have some guests in the next one. We don't know who yet. Actually, no, we do know.
Yeah, we don't. There's a few people that we that's expressed interest in like BB Can and also Survivor.
Actually, after this, we should make a chat with said person we're gonna have on for the next podcast. But other than that, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We will see you guys in our next video, and we will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Or one morning or afternoon or whenever you're watching
when this actually premieres tomorrow.
I'll be working.
I work at 12, so I think same.
Yeah. All right. We should probably
unless you premiere it before I go to work.
I don't know.